Well, we had a pretty amazing game against this player. Wait till you see it. It's very exciting. It is a game like you've never seen before. This player I had just beaten, they played badly. But when a player loses because they play badly, they often play with new fire or even with a system. So I decided I would go for the old faithful, Roy Lopez.
Check.
Okay, that's Roy Lopez, otherwise known as the Spanish opening. I think possibly the most popular opening of all time. And he blocks with the pawn. Back she comes, and he doesn't push with the pawn. Just comes over here to attack this knight. Now I do like to clone my knights, but I can't really move my other knight out to clone that yet. I'm going to get this ready so I can, but then a lot of other stuff happens. A check happens here, and I have to block it. I don't really want to block it with the bishop because that's the square I want the knight to get cloning on. More running him for the pawn for the bishop. So I kind of have to put my bishop here now to threaten his queen. Comes here, and I just decide I'm going to lock it up. I don't want his queen to have any access there. But this means now, as you can see, my knight, if taken, can't be recaptured by the other knight, which is annoying. So I move the bishop to try and facilitate that. And I think he knows because he immediately captures. So let's just look at this for a second, all right? What I've got here is I've got a very, very solid queenside defence, very solid. And kingside, there's really nothing happening. It sort of looks like I'm ready to castle. But look at him. He's got no queenside defence at all because it's been all-out attack. And kingside, although it's tidy pawns, he hasn't moved a single piece. It's extraordinary. Now look at the next thing that happens is he makes this really silly move. This opens up his king to the possibility of checks. This is a sillier move than you think because if he follows it up, I get my knight now onto the square that I'd wanted it on all along so that in case my bishop goes or something. This is the really foolish move. This is the double foolish move. You see, he's just thinking, oh, my pawns are all on black. Let's make them into a tidy. No. No. Pawns like this leave your king with no defence at all for check. This check cannot be defended. The only thing you can block it with is this pawn, and I can take it.
Check.
Right? So that's something to be learned about your pawns. Has to move the king. He has no other choice, really, unless he wants to lose the pawn as well. And I decide my light colour bishop needs to start getting active. Possibly my queenside castle as well, although I'm not sure it's safe to castle queenside. I'd kind of rather push the pawn in front of it straight onto his queen. I'd rather kind of do this, you know, because what can he do then? But I'm still not happy about the idea of castling at all. Oh, I did push that pawn onto the queen right then. Okay, so I read my own mind. He comes back with this knight. He's trying to motivate the knight to get it onto squares it can get onto. So he's probably looking to try and get it onto the e6 square next. That's fine, I'm okay with that. I'm going to get this bishop. Now, I did expect him to move this pawn because it actually pins my knight against my king. It's actually not very good for me if he does that. But he didn't. I was hoping he wouldn't. He does indeed move the knight onto the e6 square, and then I'm able to lock it up. That castle keep is locked now because not only is that pawn covered by my bishop, but it's covered by my knight as well. So my bishop is actually free to go gallivanting around up to here to worry his knight that was so mobile and now isn't. What can his knight do? Well, it can go to the centre of the board. So here we got to follow Fisher's rule. Any piece that comes onto your half of the board needs to be taken out, needs to be exchanged. It is too dangerous to have an opponent's piece on your side of the board. Even if you just look at my B pawn hanging there, it would be, if I move my knight, if I forget about his knight and move my knight, he can steal that pawn, and that opens me up to a world of invasion. So we take that knight, doesn't matter what the cost is, bang. Very little cost, actually. So, and actually gives me an advantage. He takes with the wrong pawn as well. In addition to everything else, he takes with the wrong pawn. Because you see what will happen in a minute is I'm here. Now there's a possible checkmate here on d7. What does his king do? It runs that way, towards where he has opened a file for me. This is glory for me, but it's death for him. Of course he has to run that way, because if he were to run that way,
check.
Well, it just doesn't get better, does it?
Checkmate.
He's going to get checkmated.
Check.
So he kind of has to run that way. And I could still check him, but there's no point doing it just yet.
Castling.
I actually decide that this is now the moment to castle. It really is. He's got no attack on that side. He's got 0 on the king side. He can't even try and get my queen away with this. I can just take it. He can't even move my queen with pawns. So I castled. I've still got this horrific check looming now on d7. So what has he got to show for it? His queen is looking very stranded now because she's hemmed in by pawns on all sides. And now out comes his knight attacking my queen. Again, what's the point of that if I can just go check? And now his king is here. Have you seen what's happened? Do you see where his king and queen are? And where my knight is? Can you see something there? Because I can. I can definitely see something there. Just watch what happens next. This file, this beautiful open file he gave me,
check.
I just push forward with a check. Now he could take it with the pawn. But if he does that, he will immediately get the knight fork that I'm sure you spotted that will win his queen. So he can't take it with that. He has to take it with something else. What has he got to take it with? His king or his queen? Takes it with the queen. Probably the right thing to do. Let's just see what would have happened if he'd taken it with his king. What would have happened, I wonder? Yeah, actually, that's not too bad. I mean, I would have a check here, and he has to come. Well, no, he's back on the knight fork again. Okay, let's go with what happened. He took it with his queen. I chased, and if you look, she has only one safe square she can go to. But it's not really a safe square. In fact, she should have taken that rook, because she goes here, and it's check here with my knight. The one safe in inverted commas square that she had allows this beautiful take, and if he is foolish enough to try and capture, well, he kind of has to, really. If he doesn't capture that, it's all over anyway. But capturing it does make it be over quicker.
Checkmate.
With a simple queen pawn checkmate. All the way up that side of the board. The very side, not just the very side, but the very squares practically that he was using to attack me from in the beginning. They are the very squares that he ends up being skewered on. And look how safe my king is. It really didn't look, did it, like the kind of game that was going to end up with me really, really safe and chasing his king around. Be honest, it didn't, did it? It looked like a chaotic game. But you know, this is one of the things that I say in chess. Embrace chaos. This is a very, very important concept in chess. You must be comfortable with the chaos. In fact, more than that, you must love the chaos and let it fire up your imagination for all sorts of wondrous ideas and things and techniques and strange patterns that never existed before. That's what the chaos will deliver for you. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like and subscribe to Chess Voices, the most relaxing chess channel on YouTube. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.